Hello, 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 and welcome back to Birdwatch, the great pop culture debates fashion photo review of the looks from RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 2. I'm your host, Eric Resniak, and I'm joined this week by my extra special guest judge, Michael Schwarz. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Eric. How you doing?
I'm good. Fancy a job?
No, but a cuppa will do really nice right about now.
Attaboy. All right, so for episode 2, the runway challenge was surprise, surprise.
Oh, really? Because some of these were not a surprise to me, that's for damn sure.
Amen to that, sister. Or sister, I should say. So we're going to start right off with our first queen, Ahura, in a groom to bride transformation. Michael, what did you think?
Well, the Secretary of Shade, as she was this week, really, I loved this look when she stepped out, because it was the tuxedo look with the tall Abe Lincoln hat on it, and I'm like, oh, what's this going to be at the minute? And she had this whole Marlena Dietrich look going on for me at the beginning with the cane. And, I just really loved it. The transition was really good as compared to some of the other queens that went for the evening. The makeup, the earrings, they were all kind of on point for me. The only criticism I had of the transition was the veil. So I'm going to give this one a toot for you.
Yeah, I'm going to toot this too. I didn't think it was a terrific look, but I thought it was fun. There was a significant transformation. I thought she pulled off the transformation well. I think Ahura is gorgeous. If we're going to do an Abe Lincoln, I would have loved an Abe Lincoln to John Wilkes Booth transformation. That would have been shocking, but she's British, so she probably doesn't even know what that means. So it's a toot for Ahura. Next up, we have Lawrence Chaney. And Michael, what's your thoughts?
Yes, Lawrence Chaney. That blue Scottish flag was really nice to begin with. The thing that I really liked about this to begin with was the little humor that she had at the beginning, the leg fake and then pulling the arm off. The tartan was not a surprise underneath for us. The one thing I didn't like too is the body shape. It did not do her body shape well. She's a big girl. She really should have had more bigger boobs in there. But overall, I really did like the look. I did give it a toot. But it's Lawrence Chaney, and we all seem to love it. Rue loves Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm going to moot this one. I love Lawrence, and I thought it was a significant transformation. There was a kind of surprise, but tartan with Lawrence, my issue, as you pointed out, was it was not flattering on her. And we've seen her, she can do wonderfully flattering garments, and I didn't think that the transformation was smooth at all. I get that the beginning of it was jokey, but to me, it just seemed clunky, and I don't think she sold it after she tried to do the transformation. So it was a moot for me. It was fine, but it wasn't great. Next up, we have Ginny Lemon. Do you fancy a slice?
Oh, in this case, I do not fancy anything close to a slice. All I got to say to start this off with is Crocs.
Crocs
seriously.
On the runway.
That was nice when she walked into the workroom and everything, but on the runway, no. The initial look was okay, 60s tea lady, I can see her pushing the trolley, but after that, it just all fell apart. It wasn't a reveal. There was nothing there, and I did not need to see Ginny's hairy ass. So this one was a borderline for me, but in the end, I think I'm going to fall down that this was a poop for me.
Oh no, I'm tooting it. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. And this is going to be a recurring theme on the show, by the way. I find camp queens, I'm not looking for them to give me glamour all the time. This was ridiculous, a reveal of the exact same dress underneath. That's funny, right? And then to have her furry flapjacks out the back, I thought that was very successfully done. Ginny has worn Crocs, I think she wore in her promo, in her intro look. She is a queen for comfort, and I love that about her. So I'm going to go ahead and toot it. You can hate me, internet. It's fine. Next up, we have Cherry Valentine. What do you got, Michael?
Oh, Cherry Valentine. I actually liked the look when it came out. Yellow is my least favorite color in the universe, but that yellow polka dot looked really cute on her. Her painting was on point, but I hated the look afterwards. It just became so boring when it took her too long to twirl around to get it off to make the transition. And then the gender reveal underneath was kind of boring. There's that yellow nothing with gender across it. It really didn't do anything for me. And I kind of hated the bows on her shoes. So I actually mooted this.
Yeah, this one was tough for me because it was a striking look, right? The yellow and the polka dots, it like popped. But in terms of the surprise element, I didn't get it. I understood that I think she's going for a gender reveal with the confetti being, you don't actually know what the gender of your kid's going to be. There was a message there, but it didn't come through clearly. I also hated the bows on the shoes. I'm mooting it as well, and it pains me because I actually really love Cherry's style and her outfits, but this was not super successful for me. Next up, we have Tia Coffee. Michael, what did you think?
Oh, she lived up to her name this week of Baroness Basic. I swear to God. First of all, that did not read Leather Daddy. That really barely read like Drunk Bear on a Saturday night for me. That was not a harness. That was just ugly to begin with. And then that flamenco dress underneath was just so boring. I talk about like getting read the previous week about don't buy, this off the shelf kind of look for you. So the paint was blah. The wig was so flat. It didn't even look good. It was a boot for me. It didn't almost made Poot, but I'm giving it a boot.
It's a boot for me too. How to say this? As someone who is intimately familiar with the Leather Daddy community, that was not a Leather Daddy look. I think it was a really funny idea. And I think we had several cases of queens who had great ideas and lousy execution, and Tia had a lousy execution. The Leather Daddy look was funny, but not actually what she was going for. And the flamenco dancer was really, really weak. It was watered down. It's flamenco. So it's a boot for me as well. Next, we have Ellie Diamond in her Wizard of Oz fantasy. Michael, what did you think?
I loved Ellie in this look. I thought it was really cute. She came out in the scarecrow and it looked really nice and everything like that. The hair, the makeup was on point. And then she turns and she gives us Tin Man. And I'm like, oh, that's really cute. Rue's favorite show. And then she turns around and gives us Cowardly Lion. That 3-in-1 really made me love this look. She pulled it off. It could have been a little bit more, but I loved this look so much. I actually gave it a shoot for the week.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and toot this look. I thought that she did she was very successful in what she was setting out to do, right? She's like, I'm going to do all 3 of the characters, and they were well executed. There was not a ton of interpretation in the looks. They were very basic. Okay, this is Scarecrow, this is Tin Man, this is Lion. But given that they all had to be underneath one another, she couldn't go wild there, right? I thought she did a really good job. I'm pretty sure she sewed this herself. I think Ellie's definitely one to watch. It's a toot. It didn't blow my mind, but I'm glad it blew yours. Next up, we have Astana Mandela, and she's giving us a Mortal Kombat look. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I gave the same thing. I wrote down Mortal Kombat when I first started this, but Astana, it wasn't a reveal. Throwing a cloak off when you walk onto the runway is not a reveal. It's here's my look. And it was meh, boring. I really didn't love it. The fact that it wasn't a reveal, it didn't excite me in any way, shape, or form. I didn't like the prosthetic on her mouth. When it came up, it just looked janky on her mouth and everything like that. I gave her a boot on this one.
I struggled with this one, whether it's going to be a boot or a moot. Just so people know, she was giving you Melina from Mortal Kombat, and Melina does have that fucked up mouth because she's a clone and she's half Tarkatan. So that is actually the character. Obviously, you shouldn't say that because it's intellectual property.
Right.
My suspicion is that this was an out-of-the-bag costume. She wore it great. The body is amazing. The serving of the sai in between the legs was really funny. But I can't toot this. Even though she looks great and she did achieve the character, to me, it was not super exciting. So I'm going to moot it, not boot it. Next up, we have Sister Sister, giving us the housewife who's also a sex maniac. Michael, what did you think?
Now, the suburbia look was really cute. The house coat when she came out. It was a big transformation. You definitely saw between the two that she was going for something. But what didn't do her any favors for me is that close-up right at the beginning for her. Her eyebrows were horrible. Her wig line you could see. The lip was uneven. That wig cap, when the wig came off, it just took away from it. So I loved the look. I loved the concept, everything of it overall. But when I looked at the details of it, I mooted this look.
I think that's fair. I am going to toot this look because it was a significant transformation. I thought it really embraced the challenge. I thought she sold it on the runway. She was really fun in her presentation. You're correct that the close-ups, you saw all of the mistakes. But I thought that it was ambitious, and I thought she pulled it off, and I thought that final reveal of the wig to the tattooed scalp was super fun. So I'm tooting Sister. Next up, it's Veronica Green, our challenge winner. Michael, what did you think of her Stepford wife outfit?
I loved this Stepford wife. You know, she came out, she's the cookies, and she's just like tottering along, and all of a sudden she stops and drops that tray, and then the wig comes off, and you're like, okay, first of all, I'm getting Gigi Good and Maria from season 12, and that robot, but so much more sinister from it, and she just pulls it off, and it looked amazing. The details on the housewife, the details on the robot, I think were really good, and the transition was a little long, but it was worth it for the story that you were getting out of this. So this is going to be my second shoot of the week.
Jesus. Okay. I love it. I'm so used to receiving and now you're giving. So I'm going to toot this. I will say that you mentioned Gigi Good and Maria the Robot. I don't think that would have aired by the time she filmed this because this was filmed in January of last year. So I don't think that was a reference, but certainly she was going for Stepford Wife, probably some of the, what's the classic 20s movie, Metropolis. I think it was good. Much as you had issues with Sister's details, I had issues with Veronica's. The wig line was like a two-head, and the cod piece to her robot was starting to come off. Toot, details were a problem. Tastes in red, and more red with a black undergarment. Michael.
Well, the trade minister definitely knows how to show off her body. And yeah, I would have voted. It was either going to be Astana or Taste for trade minister from me, but the red on red was not a reveal. Again, this is another thing that failed completely to be a surprise. That black underneath, I didn't actually see it initially because I was so annoyed with the rest of the costume that she had going on. And the blood red at the end doesn't add anything to the story that she's trying to tell. If she had led up to that in some way, that it was really, honestly, the only thing I loved about this look was the wig. I thought it looked great. So I gave it a boot.
I struggled with the boot versus Moot on this one, and I think I came down with a Moot because she still looks gorgeous. I actually love the makeup on this. The blood-flecked face I thought was really powerful, but you're right, there was not really much of a transformation. And if the surprise was the blood capsules in the mouth, number one, we saw that literally almost a decade ago with Sharon Needles on season 4. It wasn't powerful enough. Taste is better than this. And I feel like I said that last week with the Naomi Campbell look too. Taste should be giving us more than she's giving us. I'm going to go ahead and moot this. Finally, we have Bimini Bon Boulash. Michael, what did you think?
Oh, I don't even like saying her name. Seriously. This was another failed reveal. And even if it had been successful, it's really not much of a reveal itself. You know, I understand where her reference was coming from, the Alexander McQueen look that was on the runway and everything, but popping those balloons on that almost ill-fitting corset really did not do anything for her in this look. And she was just boring. I did like the Mars Attack kind of headdress that she had on, but overall, I gave this one a boot.
I'm also booting this, and it pains me. The wig was great. She looked amazing from the neck up. I think the concept was so cool. And as our editor will say, like, if she had managed to pull that off, it would have been astounding. It would have been almost a Project Runway moment. But she didn't. I think Bimini has great ideas and really shitty execution. I really came to like her a lot this episode. I thought she was wonderful in the challenge. I have to boot it, though. This was a fail, and she knew it was a fail. She really dodged a bullet. So that is it for our girls this week. Michael, who is your top 2 of the week?
Oh, I had to go back and forth on this one, but honestly, I'm going to give my top 2 to Ellie Diamond.
Okay. You will hate me, and I am ready for it. I'm giving it to Ginny fucking Lemon. I thought that was hilarious, and it was a surprise. I was not expecting to see hairy man ass on my runway this week, and here we are. In the arms of the angel. So with With that, thank you so much for watching Birdwatch. I want to thank my guest Michael for participating, and make sure to come back to our YouTube channel for even more Drag Race content. We're also doing videos for season 13, and we'll continue doing them if you keep watching them. Make sure you head over to greatpopculturedebate.com to check out our blogs and our scoreboard for our fan pool for both UK2 and season 13. And while you're there, make sure that you check out what polls are open for your votes. I believe Best Ben and Jerry's is still open for season 3, as well as what topics you can pick for our upcoming episodes, because your votes actually determine what we talk about. Check out episodes to see the debates we've already had. And thank you so much for watching. We will be back next Monday with more Birdwatch. Pip pip cheerio.
Cheerio.